So welcome to my YouTube channel, English Lovers 500 once again. So yeah, we are live again. So as I mentioned before that I want to take some rest and half an hour rest was good enough and then I went to the nearby place to just get some relaxation, relaxing time. Now we are live. Let me just send the whole thing. My like intimation must be given to the students that who are really interested to have the session. Let me just send the same. Mhm. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. This live session, live session, this live session. Let's share that one. Copy and then now you're gonna see some broadcast also that I have. Just these other broadcasts. Three, two, one. And I don't know like why the students are not interested that way that they were earlier, but still I would do it for their purpose, especially for those students who really want to improve themselves for the sake of preparing for the IELTS exam as well. It will be beneficial for not only those students who are actually in the school, but also the students who are preparing the IELTS exam, who are interested to know a little bit or more about the kind of information related to the essay writing. Basic structure will remain the same, but the thing is that how we write, the main purpose of actually coming live for this one is, first of all, letting you know about, uh, you know, what's exactly the method of actually writing the essays, and then some of the um, like points which are really, really necessary to be known to everybody. Mhm. So we will be focusing on each and every detail of the same. Don't worry. Let me just yeah take care of this. Yeah. So before starting, I would like to see that like there is some increase in the number, but that would halt my like progress of actually teaching you. But for some time we can do that. For some time we can just, if you have any query about it, like you may send me the comment later on also. If you're present right at the moment for the live session, you can also do the same. Okay. So for me, it is actually the utilization of the time in the right way because I was free today. I got an off after so so many days from the household works and as well as my workplace. So that is why I thought that why not to go live and just teach the students the methodology or the right method of actually dealing with the essay writing. Let me tell you, many of the students will be amazed that the way the essay is taught or essay is learned by you, maybe that is all just one word. In one word, I would say that it's just cramming. Let me write that, cramming. So what we usually used to do in our time as well, the problem in our time was also the same, like cramming. We were told or taught by our teachers that you have to learn some essays, or you have to go through first 15 essays or 20 essays, so that we will grasp some information. That's a good thing somehow. We can take it another way, like we can call it like research on different topics. But that research must be done from the different sources, but not from the one source. Our teachers used to tell us that you have to remember, you have to channelize your brain for learning all of them 20 to 20 25 essays. Like we obviously it was an impossible and a daunting task. The same as essay writing is, same thing applies to that. Like that's not an easy task for anybody to actually write an essay after knowing about 20 to 25 essays. So basically, what we were taught was cramming. We were not told that like the first paragraph is to be written in a certain manner. It's not only me. Nowadays, also the kids in the schools are not taught about it. That is why during their IELTS preparation, they have to know a lot first. Then they go for writing the essay, even in the essay for the IELTS. So whatever they do, it's just the revision of what they have learned in the schooling. But if that is done in the school time in a right manner, then definitely there is no issue for any student to actually get good bands. Basically, the students used to face problem with that. If in school learning the essay writing is taught properly, I think the kids are going to get better bands easily. That's why most of the time the students who have studied in ICSE board particularly, because they have their separate subject, you know, so they put more emphasis on the grammar. Even the failures, or even the I would say there is no failure actually. There is no, sorry for using the word. Even for the people who were average on getting the marks on marks, not in life, most of the time what I have seen is like the kids who used to have the average marks or even the lower marks, they get better life later on. So what I mean to say is that is not restricted to anything like your marks are actually being given in a different perspective, on a different notch. Okay, and you learn on a different level. So that is why there is a problem. There is a, what we say, that informational gap. I would say that there is informational gap between your school learning and the way it is applied during your essay writing in your IELTS. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep the bridge. We're going to create a bridge between both of them. Like what we're going to create is the bridge between the school to your IELTS. Okay, International English Language Testing System. Got it? So we're gonna actually, when you will open the website also, if the ICSE students will open the website, the when you're gonna see the syllabus of grammar that is written over there. The purpose of teaching you essay writing is to prepare you for the exams like TOEFL, SAT, IELTS, many others. Because the kind of information that you get during your learning process is quite a lot, a huge amount. I would say that mm, a kind of monumental task it is for a teacher to actually make you ready in 1 year, which can be done actually in many years, which can be divided in many years. Like for example, if the learning will start in the fifth standard, the child will not be able to actually write a full essay. If would be given a chance to write a full essay, there should be some difference of writing. There should be some systematically like uh, aligned task which should be given to the teachers, that a child should learn like how to write, you know, in the fifth standard some amount, and then thereafter changes will occur. I'm not saying that it is not possible for anybody, like we have done also, but my realization says that it could have been done earlier. Essay writing would have been better. So anyone can do this task. Now, like leaving all these aside, living living in a different country right at the moment, I have understood that one, the way the education is provided in India. Somehow is better, but somehow is what we say, not real, not practical. Lots of subjects, I'm saying. I'm not saying that all the subjects, but lots of subjects during our school learning are taught not practically, but theoretically. So theory, you know, is predominant in the case of studies in India, particularly in the schools like where we have studied. But as far as our teachers were concerned, they were awesome. They tried their level best to actually give us um, like lot of information, I would say. So when it comes to you know writing the essay, I would go by that. Just a minute. Mm, I think that both the cameras are actually on, so I have to actually stop one camera. I think, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Mm-mm. Let it be. So let it be. What I would do is, like, I'll use the screen, and you can see me on the screen. I will write down some tips for essay writing first, and then we will move to the section of actually learning, the process of writing the essay. Okay. And whomsoever is going to join, please let me know that in the comment section, that how you are learning. Okay. Right at the moment in India, I know that all must be sleeping or maybe feeling sleepy, that why sir have started the session right at the moment. But I implore you all actually to see it later on, so that you may understand the process of writing the essay properly. So first of all, we will go by the tips related to it. Okay. First of all, we know that it's a daunting task. It's a very difficult task, that essay writing is not everybody's cup of tea. Okay. But it can be everybody's cup of tea if they would actually focus on some tips that I'm going to write. Okay. I will be writing the tips on the screen, and then we will go to the screen itself, and we will see that, you know, mm, what are the methods by which we should actually write one essay. Okay. Now, the first thing which is very much important for, like, as far as the first tip is concerned, the first one is concerned, is understand the topic. The minute you get that topic, if you start writing it, it's not the right approach. So what you have to do is, you have to read the question carefully. First of all, when you will read the question carefully, you should ask yourself whether I know it rightly, that whatever is asked or not. Whatever is asked, is it clear to me or not? If it is not, you should actually just go through the statement once more and try to know the thing that has been asked. And if it is not still clear, try to rephrase the given information in your own words, so that you may get maximum meaning out of it. So if you will be able to understand what's that question asked, you will be able to answer properly. You can ask your teacher or your professor if some of the words are not clear to you. During the learning process, during the process when the essay writing has been a continuous task. It's a journey process, like, in the classes, during the classes, not the examination time. If your teacher allows you in the examination time also, that's well and good. Actually, the real stuff comes when you really utilize that same thing in your life. So your teacher should understand that, it should not be like that hard. English is not that hard. English is a very beautiful and an interesting language. So the perspective must be changed of yours, as well as for those who are actually teaching it. Like, it's a very interesting task. It's not that, um, like, boring one. Don't create a boredom kind of or kind of boredom you if you will create, or monotony you will create in the mind of the child, then definitely the child is going to get frustrated easily or faster. It has to be interesting so that the child may understand that it is just a playful act. And if it is a playful act for the child, then definitely everybody knows that, like, what are the wonders that you can do when you rightly know that, when you rightly know that, yeah, what is to be written and what is not to be written. Okay. So in your life, in your essay writing is not one thing uh, that will stay for one particular question. Essay writing, it will stay for you, with you for forever in every task. Whenever a question is asked, you will be able to, you know, realize that whatever points I'm writing on the screen, they apply there. Understanding the topic, understand the question whenever is asked. Same thing applies to, you know, every question that has been asked. Okay. So, like the first step that I gave you was understanding the topic. If you analyze the topic, see the first word, the keywords which are given over there, and try to find out the meaning of the same. Okay. Next thing, the second tip that I would give you is plan your essay. A journey which is unplanned always go nowhere. Okay. Like the the planning is the most important task. When you plan first, your time gets saved. Um, for an essay where you take in which you take 45 minutes or 50 minutes, would be completed within the 15 minutes instead of 50 minutes when you plan your essay out and give some time for planning. Most probably, I would say that for introduction, for different parts, I would say that instead of, you know, disturbing the like interest of the whole essay that I'm going to tell you, without disturbing that, we will just talk about this like different parts, you know, that must be clear. That must be clear that how you're going to utilize the planning in that. How would you plan your essay? Planning is extremely important task. If you don't plan your essay, then definitely it will be a pitfall. First is plan your work, then work your plan. That's the only thing that can work. If you don't plan, let me tell you, it is very important that you plan your essay first. If you don't plan, you'll keep on writing. You'll keep on writing. Your ideas would be ambiguous all the times. Your time management will be poor when you don't plan. Without planning, everything is fertile. When you organize any function, when you organize any particular celebration, you plan first. Whenever you get up early in the morning, you plan your day, then you work your day. Same thing applies to any task that you do in your life. The plan your essay first. That means whenever you write an essay, first of all, you have to have a planning for the same. If you don't have the planning, let me tell you guys, you'll be in danger. You are going to jeopardize yourself. You're going to put yourself into the risk of losing a beautiful way of expression, that is essay writing. You're going to lose that thing. Okay, so that's the fundamental thing that you should know, that first of all, plan things first. So plan your essay. Plan your essay. It means like it'll help you in organizing your thoughts. It'll help you in organizing or channelizing the hierarchy of your answer. Okay. So it'll help you in many things. Okay. Your ideas will come, in a systematic manner. If there is no systematic manner, then definitely your lines will not match. They won't be aligned. There won't be any connection between the given lines. So that, to establish that thing, I think the first thing that you have to do is planning is to be done. Like whenever for about 1 year continuously, I had my own institute. And before that, when I told you that in 2007, when I started my journey of teaching the higher students, like I was very, very, very young at that time. I was in my senior secondary classes, And then I started my journey, and there I understood a lot of things. I was doing lots of mistakes. You know, from those mistakes, I understood that ultimately I got to know that what is exactly the fundamental of writing an essay. So in that case, like I would tell you that my experience says that planning is required. And for my AL students, I used to always suggest them plan first. Without the plan, it'll be it'll be a kind of havoc in your mind that whether I'll be able to complete it on time or not. And if there is any planning, if there is any proper planning, then definitely your organization of your ideas will be extremely beautiful. Okay. So you have to create an outline. It means to say that whenever you plan or in planning, we plan by the two methods, by brainstorming or by spider diagram. Usually, I'm talking about the usual methods. Okay. I would be talking about all of these methods separately, one by one in the separate videos or separate live sessions. But right at the moment, I would just tell you that you have to keep in mind that brainstorming where you storm the brain, you create a storm in the brain of the different ideas. Those all are scattered ideas, but you are outlining all of them. When you are outlining all of them, then you have to actually channelize them into the right like structure, right skeleton. If that skeleton is present there, then definitely your essay is perfectly fine. Your paragraphs will be perfectly fine. What I'm going to tell you within some time, you would be amazed to know that like you must not have heard it them before, uh, particularly not in a monotonous way, in a dull manner. Like if somebody reads from somewhere and then you are just hearing it, that's not the thing. You have to understand. You have to understand that if you don't understand that, if you don't actually put yourself, like I'm putting myself into the shoes of the kids before actually teaching them what they must be thinking, what they must be thinking about a certain topic. So the second point that I told you, that is planning. Without planning, your essay is useless. Okay. Your essay will be the collection of ideas which are a random one, not the real ones, or not what we say organized. So those won't be organized one. And next thing that I'm going to tell you, which we don't do at all, that is research. That the next point is research. You have to research about the different topics. Okay. Like before sitting into the examination, you will have some time, you know, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever months you got, you have to research on the different topics that are related in your life. Like every child has a plenty of, you know, scope for knowing information from different sources. I must say that open the library, which is closed from quite a while, from lots of days. Open that one and just find out different topics related to essay writing, related to the different topics like books, education, family, health, exercise, life, friends, shopping, topics whichever are existing in your life. Think about them. When you will think about them, definitely there would be an urge in your heart that I should know more about them. Try to find more information about it. Find out the facts and the figures regarding the same. If you know like the benefits of something, try to think of the negative side as well. I'm trying to tell you something about the negative as well. So every coin has two sides. So there we have to think of the negative as well as the positive advantages and the disadvantages. We have to see the pitfalls, limitations, defects, demerits, merits, advantages, and many other things. We have to think of all such things. For example, there is a curtain behind me. You know, what are the benefits of the curtain? What are the demerits of the curtain? I have to research about them, like from where the curtain word came from, like uh, where can I use this particular word, or where can I use this particular topic specifically in my life. So when you will research about it, you will have to go through different sources, online, offline, whichever sources. You will buy some books, you will get some books and on your card, okay, or you can research them online on different websites. What are the different advantages? For example, what are the different advantages of the curtain that we use? So if you will search that in the search bar, that is Google search engine, you will get lots of plenty of the benefits of the same. So same thing is applied to you. Like you should know before. It's not like on the moment of actually writing the essay you should know about it. Prior knowledge. It means that the research is about the prior knowledge that you have. When it comes to writing an essay in India, we don't get time to actually do research. So when we don't get the time to do the research, this very difficult to pronounce also research. Okay, so if you don't get the time to do the research, you have to think on the spot, and you can't think on the spot. That means I'm telling you, do the research beforehand. Think of certain topics which are usual one to come in your essay writing, in your school essays. So think of those topics and do research already. What particular person has said about it? What particular quotation can be used in that, if you can? Otherwise, don't try to actually use a quotation. If you're using the quotation, you should know the rules and regulations regarding the use of the quotation, where to use and when to use and how to use and how to write. Everything has to be known. So that is known as a research. You are researching about it. You are researching about that, like lots of information. There are lots of stuff. There is a lot of stuff that you can actually go for. Okay. Now, like we know that the first impression sometimes goes the last impression. People should know that the first impression becomes the last impression of the people. And on the other side, when we say that don't judge a book by its cover, like in the beginning itself we cannot make an impression that something is really great, but the first impression is the last impression in case of essay writing. When you write your introduction strongly. So another point that I'm going to tell you, I think the fourth point it is, that is your strong introduction. Okay, so when you have a strong introduction, I must tell you, when you write strongly in the beginning itself, when you know that my essay contains this, and I'm going to create a background information for that. And here comes the difference, striking difference between the essay writing that we do in the school learning as well as the IELTS. IELTS examination or IELTS examination has a different perspective, and your essay writing is a different one, because you give your train of thought in the beginning itself, what you have as far as the background knowledge about the topic is concerned. So you give your information beforehand, and then you actually come to the point, like to the topic that is given there. We will see through the example. You know, we'll just go through the example as well. Okay. So the fourth point that I told you is a strong introduction. Strong introduction itself means, like, that's the first thing, everybody sees, a reader sees, you know so it has to be engaging and informative. It has to be a captivating one. Like the person has to know that, like, yeah, this person has, you know um, that engaging spirit about the essay. Like he knows that what is to be written and what not to be written. Okay, like what has to be written in the title of the information or the thesis statement. And most of the students, like, if we'll ask the kids about thesis statement itself, they won't be known to that. And even the ones like who have already gone through that, like I'll say, have already gotten to know, like people who get 9 bands, 8 bands, whatever kind of bands, they can't signify that they have the ultimate knowledge about writing the essay. I must tell you, writing an essay for one time or getting the bands for one time or 2 times or 3 times or 4 times or whatever multiple times, if you will get the bands, will not ensure that you know about essay writing. Essay writing is in itself is a book, that you will study. It's an IELTS in IELTS, I would say that in simple words. So, it's a strong introduction means that it has to be, like I told you, attention grabber. I used to teach my students about one particular statement that is called hook statement. Okay, hook statement. I'm not talking about this yet. Okay, I'm not talking about this yet. Okay, I'm just trying to tell you that in the introduction, to make it strong, there has to be a hook statement which will grab the reader's attention and will provide some background information that you know about, and then you are going to state your thesis, your topic statement thereafter. So that will be the part of the strong introduction, a firm determination about a particular viewpoint, that yeah, that's what I know, that's what the topic is, that's what I'm going to do in my body paragraphs. So then thereafter, the another point that I would say, that fifth point, like I would tell you, that when you write an essay, you should provide evidence to support your paragraph. You know, evidence is required. Like when you write a point, then you need to provide the evidence for the same, the proof for the same to support. You know, what we say, that no man is an island. Even the human beings cannot live alone. Even your ideas cannot live alone. So when you give your ideas must be with the support of somebody, with the support of the supporting ideas. When you give a particular point of view, or give any particular essay, um, as a solidified point, then that point has to have a supporting ideas. If there is no supporting idea, I must tell you guys, like, there is some problem with your essay writing. So your arguments should be backed up by some evidence, for sure. Okay, if they are not, then definitely there is a problem. I told you. So what can we do to prove our point? There are different ways. The first way is by giving example. Everybody knows that, like providing example, giving illustration can actually, um, what I remember, I simply, I went to the backlash. One of my students used to say that, like, this is the way to write a particular example is example. When example is given, if that has really occurred in your life and you're providing the example in the right way, keeping all people in the mind, like how they would understand that, you should understand the aura, the stature of the reader as well, that the person will think to that level. So you should provide the example like that. It should not be any superficial kind of example, or kind of fake example. Okay. So the evidence will be provided with the help of the example stats, like 29%, 20%, 30%, if that is real. Don't give the fake one. If you know, like, you can play with the words, it can be done. If the wordplay can be done, then it's fine. Let me tell you one of my problem, that is, my ideas used to be in my brain, but half of the idea comes out from the mouth, and half of the idea remains within the brain. Then I realized that, like, yeah, that was to be said earlier, and then thereafter that train of thought can come later on. So try to channelize that one properly. When you give your point of view, you should have a firm determination that, yeah, my statement is complete. So stating the examples, stating the statistics, stating the quotes from the experts can provide the support to your claims, but in the scholastic essay. And when it comes to writing IELTS essay, phenomena is different. We will discuss about it later on, someday or the other day, but that is different one. Okay, for that one you have to actually get some classes. Okay, I provide online classes. You can just send me the message on the 708767547. Okay. mm, like for the Indian students, and for the Canadian students, I'm giving their information differently, not on YouTube, um, for certain security reasons. So then thereafter, after, having the information of, how to provide the argument, you can actually go for, like, another point that has to be kept in the mind. I think the sixth or seventh point, I don't know, I forgot that one. I forgot the numbers. I have the problem still existing with me, that as far as the numbers are concerned. So write clear and concise paragraph. Okay, write clear and concise paragraph. So whenever I'm writing paras, which is not existing word, so kindly just manage with that. Okay. So what I mean to say here is like when you write concise essay or concise paragraph, sorry, when you write concise paragraph, your topic will be about keeping one point in the mind. When you like usually what I have seen in many ALS essays after the school, like when I left the school, I told you that I leave one or two words before in my mind, and then the rest of the thing I say. So you see, when I was checking lots of ALS essays, so during that period, I got to know that yeah, can I write more points, 4 points, 5 points? Nobody wants to see that. Multiple points. Nobody wants to see that. If you have one idea or the two ideas, and if you're elaborating them, and if you're providing the evidence and the support for them, that's what the teacher sees. Okay. So that's what actually every teacher, even in the IELTS exam, they see that. They don't see that you have written a lot. You have written a lot of information. They want to see that you have written an exact way. The ultimate way is to follow that particular structure that I'm going to tell you within some time. So then thereafter, supporting ideas I told you, then thereafter the concluding statement has to be there for the one paragraph. And then, there has to be some transition words that you have to use during the essay writing, during, for example, you're providing the example that obviously you have to write for example before, or to illustrate before, or as an illustration or something else. In other words, you can use also like there are in such as, or there are different ways to express examples. We'll talk about that. But the thing is, whenever you give your ideas, you have to have some certain words like that, like those. Sorry. Okay. So all those phrases, transitional words are very much important to make a glue, a sticking glue of one idea to the other idea, one idea to the other idea. It will be glued together with the help of the linking words. So linking words are in other way known as the transitional words. So that has to be kept in mind. Thus, you have to keep all such things in the mind. Then another point that I must tell you that you should keep in mind is like use the proper grammar and the punctuation. Use proper grammar and punctuation. And lots of students lose marks here. Okay. One of the core part of even IELTS essay writing is grammar, and it takes 25% of the score. You know, so 25% of the score is in the grammar itself. Then definitely you have to enhance skills related to the grammar. So many people think essay can be written without the grammar. Let me tell you, it has equal weightage. 25% means 25%. But it doesn't mean that like if you don't write essay grammatically correct, you won't get marks. You will get marks, but less marks. So if you want less marks, ignore it. But if you want the good score, if you want at least the 6 bands, you have to put emphasis on understanding grammar properly. So to know the grammar properly, you know that like what is to be done. Pick up a grammar and just try to just enhance your grammar information. And if you don't know the like mm, like any certain topic, I'm there for you. Okay. And even I have created one particular whole batch of videos which are about the grammar, and you would be able to actually enhance your grammatical in like I would say that knowledge, wisdom, by watching all those videos in that. I hope something is clear now. Okay. Now the next point is like conclude your essay properly. Conclude your essay. An essay without a conclusion is not an essay. You're leaving the reader in between. So you can leave person in between in story writing, but not in essay writing. You have to have a conclusion. You have to have, you know, you have to come to a certain point where you will say that, yeah, my final analysis says that, something like that. Okay, in conclusion, usually people use that. To conclude, they use that. Okay, don't use all in all, informal one. So don't use informal one when it comes to the academic writing. When it comes to your friendly writing, or you're writing to your friend or somebody whom you know really well, so there you can somehow actually use something like that. I remember that I created one of them. Yeah, the phrases which were concluding phrases. Pegging the last nail, I guess, pegging the last nail or something like the kids started writing that. You know, I realized that it has to be told to them. It has to be told to them. Yeah, it's wrong. You know, it's informal. So when once you have created something, like if you and your friends can understand that one, that's fine. That's understood. But if academically talking, it's wrong. So you have to do that. Okay. Then conclusion is very much important. It creates a final impression in the mind of the reader or the teacher or whomsoever is actually checking your essay. So you have to summarize some of the points in that, like whatever you have written in the body paragraph, and restate your thesis in any way. Okay, in a new way somehow, and with the strong closing statement that leaves the reader with something to think about. Like you will think, like the person who is reading that, your teacher will think about it, like the child has written something very beautiful. And yeah, he has left me thinking about the topic, for certain topic. Okay. And the last point that you should actually keep in mind, that main point, that is editing process. Nobody does that. Even when the kids or the candidates, they write their essay for ALS, IELTS examination, they don't proofread. They don't do the proofreading. Okay. And I would say that in that case, you will definitely get less bands than six. Proofreading is required. You should know that thing, whatever my mistakes are, I can correct them by rereading them. So without rereading, I don't think so that it's beneficial to leave your essay. You're leaving your friends in a deserted place. It's like that. So don't leave your friends like that. So you can't leave your friends in a deserted place. So definitely what you have to do is you have to proofread your essay so that your friend essay will not feel alone. Okay. So what you have to do is add it at the last and proofread, proofread your essay. So when you have to proofread your essay, that means you are finding out the grammatical error in them. You're checking the spelling errors in them. And you are also checking that your ideas are expressed clearly. If those are not expressed clearly, then definitely it is the time for pick up your pen, for picking up your pen, and then find out the mistakes. Find out the mistakes that you have done. Find out the mistakes that you are doing continuously. I hope, like, when you will see this video, when you will see this live session, then you will be able to, you know, understand something or learn something new. Okay. And I hope that my next coming information is going to actually completely change your fundamentals about writing the essay. Okay. Let me just think of what I have to do. Just wait for some time. Let me just check that on YouTube. How many are there? So I'm coming back to the live. Okay. The information is breaking in between. Uh, Checking it out. What is the second? Nature. I'll send something about the nature, the comment. Nature, 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 nature. Let's send dinosaur. Travel one. Mm-hmm. Question and support. No, do it. We'll have these sessions only. Uh-huh. I'm actually thinking of something. I'm checking something on it. Sorry. Sorry. Really sorry. Mhm. Let me come to the screen with the. Yeah, here you go. And I hope so that you're able to see the screen. Oh, really sad. I'm passing my time. So the points are coming on the screen. Actually, these are the points actually you should keep in mind when you're actually writing an essay. So let me have the annotator here. So here you go. We are on the first point. Like you can see the name of the channel. Introduction in essay with explanation to the different parts of introduction. Now, what we are going to discuss about is like we're going to start how to write an introduction. What are the different crucial parts that are there in essay writing, particularly in introduction part. Now, as I told you that like introduction is the attention grabber, you know, what are the different parts that you should know? Like introduction is a crucial part of an essay as it sets the tone of the entire piece. Whatever you're writing as a combination of paragraphs like intro, body paragraph one, two, three, four, whatever number of paragraphs, you have to have a conclusion at the last. So if you write three paragraphs, like five paragraphs are possible in your academic writing, particularly when you are writing a scholastic essay or you're writing an essay for a school, okay, school class. But when it comes to the IELTS essay, you don't have that time, so you write only four paragraphs or sometimes five paragraphs, depends upon the kind of information that is given as far as the question is concerned. So whenever the information comes to you, I told you the first thing is you analyze a question and then you go for the different things. Okay. So introduction is most important of all, first of all, because you write it as in the beginning itself, because it will set up the tone. I told you the planning, it comes after planning. Let me tell you, you have already done the planning, what you're going to write in the introduction, what you're going to write in the body paragraphs, what you're going to write in the conclusion. Now it will come that you are going to write the like introduction. You're going to write the introduction based upon the facts that you have already gathered, and what you're going to write will be like there is difference between scholastic essay and ELBS exam essay. Let me tell you. Okay, so introduction will be different for both of the cases. In this one, it is very short. In this one, you can write and accordingly. Okay, okay. Now, so a well-written introduction should capture the reader's attention, provide the text context for the topic, and clearly state the thesis or the main argument of the essay. If there is no main argument, so basically, what is there? Let me just change the color of it. Let me use a yellow color. Basically, when you write introduction, okay, you should have first of all a hook statement. Hook statement. Hook. What is the work of a hook? Hook will hook you up. Okay, hook you up means it will hang the reader. It will hang the reader to think more on the topic. So hook will attain like it will be hook you up. That means, or it will create an attention. It will work as an attention grabber. Okay, so hook statement will be the first thing in introduction. Okay, hook statement, and then comes your, if there is any additional information, you can use a connector and add that idea into the hook statement. That's all up to you, or the kind of topic that has been given to you as a question. Then comes your second thing, that is your thesis statement. Thesis statement, or you can simply write it as topic statement. Yeah, normal word for that. Okay, topic statement. That will be dependent upon your background information, because you have to create a bridge between your hook statement and the topic statement. Let me tell you, a hook statement would be something which would be your information, what you know about the topic. For example, the essay is about the television, what you know about the television before. It's the part of the entertainment. It is also the part of the technology. You can write something about the technology, and then you can come to the topic television. If the topic is television, let me tell you, for example, if it is your room bed. Okay, you're talking about the bed in the room, so you have to talk about the furniture, like what is the application of the furniture in your life, and then thereafter you come to the topic that is your bed. So I'm just trying to take only those topics which are very common to you, so that you can understand that how to bridge it. So when you know about the when you know that your essay is about the bed, then you have to know that, like, it's an entity which comes in the furniture, and the furniture is something which is made from the wood. Okay, you can talk about it in a general sense in the beginning itself, which is possible in the scholastic essay, but not in IELTS essay, but not in IELTS essay. So when you write an IELTS essay, we have to be quite stuck with the topic. We are stuck to the topic and we can't write anything else. That's what I mean to say, that hook statement, which is actually the beginning statement that you're writing in your scholastic essay, would be your information, your journal information that you know about the topic, which is not at all, there is no connection between IELTS essay and this statement. Let me clear that fundament. But can be created. There can be the creation of that one. It depends upon person to person. The knowledge has to be quite enhanced, but there has to be, you know, hook statement even in IELTS essay. So can be created, but actually has to be related to the topic, but not entirely different as we can do in your scholastic essay. Hook statement, that means, is attention grabber. It's an attention grabber. Let me tell you. So hook statement is your knowledge from where it came. For example, you're writing about the application of sorry, the benefits of exercise, which we are going to discuss further on. So when you're talking about the benefits of essay writing, sorry, exercise, you would be talking about, health. The exercise will have an impact on the health. So you can talk about like helping the supreme or pivotal thing that everyone should be actually concerned about. And one of the method by which we can keep ourselves fit is exercise. So then you're coming to the topic, the main topic of that one. I'm just taking only the easiest ones. I'm again telling you so that you may understand what I'm trying to bridge, you know. So there has to be certain connection. And after this thesis statement, let me tell you, in introduction itself, first is hook statement, then is, I told you, one more statement if you have anything to say in the hook statement, and then comes the thesis statement, and then comes the transition statement. Transition statement is most important in that. Okay, transition statement actually will deliver that what you're going to do in your body paragraphs. Transition, because you're going to transit from, you're going to transit from, transit means, that buses that we use. You're going to transit from one introductory paragraph to the body paragraph. So transition statement is that statement which will create a bridge between the body paragraph and the introduction. So what you're going to do in the body paragraphs will be cleared through the transition statement. I think it will be clear to you now. It will be clear to you now. I hope so it is clear. And if it is not, you may let me know that. Okay. So then comes, you see, uh, an important thing about essay writing is, writing these four things. I would recommend, like what I used to tell my IELTS students also was to, prepare for the parts rather than actually going for the whole essay in the beginning itself. When you will prepare your introduction first, and for the school students also, I would request my students to go by that. Firstly go for the hook statement, then think of how to write the thesis statement and make a connection between that one. Your statements can be abstract as well. Let me tell you, that's another thing that you have to think of, that how to actually write complex sentences, compound sentences. And there is nothing like a particular regulation made that you have to write complex sentences only. You have to provide the variety of sentences in your essay writing so that other person will be able to know that you know the grammar very well and you know the different categories of the sentences to be utilized in your essay writing. So when you know that, all well, it's all phenomenal. Okay, you are doing really well. So that is there. Now you see that how it is given in the paragraph. There are different parts of introduction that contributes to the effectiveness. These includes, you see that I told you beforehand. You see that hook. Hook is the opening sentence or the two or that grab readers' attention and encourages them to keep reading. It could be surprising fact, thought-provoking question, or the compelling anecdote that relates to the topic. Anecdote, that a short story, that or kind of short incident that is existing in your mind, and you're talking about that. Okay, so you can write about the surprising fact. You can write about the thought-provoking. Thought-provoking means which will provoke some thoughts, um, a thought-provoking question, a question which will create some kind of, a thought-driven process. Okay, thought-driven process in your mind. Okay, now thereafter background information. Then comes the background information. What is in the background information? Background information after the hook. I told you there is something like you can actually add to the this one is your information along. Okay. Introduction should be provided with some background information on the topic to give the readers context and help them understand the significance of the issue that is being discussed. Significance, I told you, like exercise is helpful or is significant for health. So definitely health will be the topic that you will be talking about. Thesis statement now. The thesis statement is the main argument of the essay that the writer will be supporting throughout the piece. So that's what you're going to do. So you're going to bring the main topic into action in this particular statement, that That is the main concern and or something like when you're going to see the essay, then you will be able to understand. It should be clear, concise, and placed at the end of the introduction. So when you are ending up the introduction, then you will be. Let me tell you, all of my students later on, you have to, see this video, asking me about it. Like, sir, we want to know that because I'm going to put it into the unlisted mode. So if you really want to know more about it, then definitely just stick to that one and tell your other friends also to join in for the session. Okay. Now you see that thesis statement uh, is that statement like which has a main argument I told you. Okay. Now scope and structure. There is a scope and structure also which is explained through that. That is, the introduction should also provide a brief overview of the scope and structure of the essay, highlighting the main points and the arguments that will be covered in the body paragraph. I told you this is what I told you about the transition statement. So when you write a transition statement, you are creating a bridge between the like body paragraph and the next one, next part only. Okay. So by including these different parts of the introduction, a writer can effectively set a stage for an essay and guides the reader towards the main argument. So that's what I meant to say that. Okay. So thereafter, you know, uh, after writing this, yeah, the main thing. Now, how to blend introduction to the body paragraph? Blending the introduction to the body paragraph is important for creating a cohesive means which is to stick together or make a coherence is one of the part. No, coherence is also one of the part, and coherence and cohesion and all that is also the part which will give you 25% of the score. And this logical flow throughout the essay will be given. There are some tips to that. We'll talk about that now. I told you, use the transitional phrases. Transitional phrases such as furthermore, in addition, moreover. Whenever you will write the body paragraph one, you will see that you will start with something like first of all, or simply starting with the most important point or something like that. These are those transitional phrases which are given for actually writing the evidence actually. So moreover or something like that, if you're adding to the previous information, then you are using them. Okay, if you add to the previous information, then you will do that. Use topic sentences. Now, how to blend. Each body paragraph should begin with a topic sentence. That's what I mean to say that. Whenever you write one essay, um, even in the IELTS exam, they do this. Each body paragraph should begin with a topic sentence that connects to the thesis statement. That is our main topic, and we will actually write something about that and sets up the main point that will be discussed in the paragraph. And then we will provide like this topic statement. This topic statement, now I'll write something about the body paragraph. Body paragraph will have the topic statement, and then we'll have the evidence statement, and then we'll have the like proof of that one, evidence statement or supporting statement, and then evidence also will be provided, and the again the transition statement, or which will be concluding statement. Let me tell you, it can be concluding statement because it depends upon the kind of, if you want to complete that whole thought of process in one paragraph, that's your choice. And then you want to write the next idea in a different way, like in one you have written an advantage and the second one you have written disadvantages, then definitely the train of thought should have been complete in the first paragraph, and the train of thought for the second paragraph would be different for that. So it depends. It all depends. So each body paragraph should begin with a topic sentence that connects to the thesis statement and sets up the main point that will be discussed in that paragraph. Okay. So the topic sentence should link back to the introduction and provide a smooth transition from introduction to the body paragraph. So that's where the blending has to be done. Use evidence. I told you that how to use the evidence. I told you that in the body paragraph, how the things are going to be. So use smooth transition. Now, again, we will come to the point. Okay. We have already discussed these points. I'm sorry for actually copying all these again and again. Now, yeah, that's the main point. Here we are back. sorry, 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 really sorry. Okay, okay, okay. Blending is also done. How to write a body paragraph? You see, how to write a body paragraph? Mm, we'll talk about that. Now, in the body paragraph, I already told you that there must be a topic statement. Writing a body paragraph in an essay involves organizing your thoughts and presenting evidence to support your thesis statement. Here are some steps to be known to you. And what are those? Like, yeah, I told you that first statement in your body paragraph, first statement is your topic sentence. Start with the clear topic sentence. If you don't have that one, then definitely it's a pitfall. It's a mistake. Okay. It's a mistake on your part. So you should have a topic statement, clear topic statement. First sentence of your body paragraph should be clear and concise statement, um, for which you are going to provide like some evidence. This sentence should relate back to your thesis point and help to support the overall argument that is there. So now, after that one, you would see provide evidence and analysis. I told you when you will write the first statement and then thereafter there has to be some kind of support in the sense you have to simplify your point. You have to write it in a simple language so that the reader may understand that one that there is some logic behind it. So once you have established your main point and provide evidence to support it, this can include quotes from the experts, chats, or the specific examples you can provide. So all these things are possible in scholastic essay, but in IELTS essay, we don't have the time to actually go by each and every detail of the same. So we go by the specific examples which are related to the topic or related to the life or something like some incidents which have happened in our life. Okay. After presenting this evidence, analyze it to show how it supports your argument. How it supports your argument. Like you have to have a topic statement and then provide the base for that same for that. So headphones battery is getting drained. So without headphones, we will continue. Don't worry. Okay. And we'll come to the conclusion of the same. Use the transition words and the phrases. Then thereafter, we will use the transition words and the phrases. You know, transition words and the phrases to connect the ideas, which will help us more over furthermore. For example, one idea is not yet complete. Like, for example, your topic statement is not complete in your body paragraph one. So you want to add for more information, you can use moreover. You want to add more information into that, or if you want to say contrasting information into that, then you can start with however, comma, and then give the contrasting information. But that depends when you don't write uh, when you don't write one idea in one paragraph. When you write two ideas in one paragraph, then definitely you can use the contrasting method. Just a minute, let me just cut it off. This battery low kind of stuff. Let me just, yeah. I hope my voice will still be audible. My voice is, I think, still audible. And if there is any issue with the same, you can let me know that later on. Okay. For me, it is about like 4 to 5 years continuously. I have taught particularly the essay writing to my students in like school, in a school named Mount Carmel School, Balacha. Okay. So there I taught that, I don't know,
like whether this same process is going on or not, but still it's very important for all of them, and they can also analyze like what actually the child really deserves. Okay, now just a minute. Stay focused on the main point. Like now you're like when you're writing the body paragraph, your focus has to be on one particular main argument that you have written in the beginning itself. Avoid going off the topic, and if you go like off the topic, you will go only when you haven't done planning in the beginning. If you have done the planning in the beginning itself, that what you're going to write in the body paragraphs, then I don't think so you will go off the topic. Introducing new ideas is a common phenomena for the students who write randomly without even planning, and the kids who plan first and then they do it, then I think they deserve, more marks, I would say. Marks. Okay, Karl Marx. Okay, use proper paragraph structure. So there has to be a proper structure. Skeleton has to be followed so that there must be hierarchy and the logical, cohesiveness of the whole paragraph. That has to be clear. A body paragraph should have a clear structure with the topic sentence, supporting evidence, and the concluding sentence. I told you. So concluding sentence should be like the summarize the main point and link it back to the. That means when you conclude that what is the result of your topic statement, then that comes as the body paragraph's conclusion, particular body paragraph. It can be like a transition statement, which will shift it to the next point. Okay, depends upon the way you write it. Okay, depends upon the way you write it. I'm again repeating. Use proper citation. When you are using the citation, use your outside sources in your essay. See, that is possible in somewhere else, but not in India, where we don't do any citations or something like that, according to the citation style required by your teachers or the profession. Like here, they are talking about the APA method, or MLA or something like. Some methods are there which are different universities are actually asking for. So that's not in India. And by following these points, I think you will be able to write that one. And how many paragraphs must be written? See, just a minute. Again repeated. That's why I was thinking that why the file is so heavy. The file became so heavy uh, just because of my mistake. Yeah, now you see that. Just a minute. How many paragraphs must be written? The number of the body paragraphs you should write depends upon the length and the complexity of your essay. So main point that has to be in your mind when you actually write your essay is the length also has to be kept in mind, and complexity of the essay, and the kind of ambiguity that you have created in the essay just because of ambiguous thoughts. You have to comply by the statement itself, and if your statement is not complying by your words, then definitely, yeah, it'll be a problem. As well as the specific requirements of your essay, the teacher or the professor, that is not applied to. However, as a general rule, most essays should have at least 3 body paragraphs. You see, most scholastic essay, academic essays, they used to be written in 5 paragraphs. That is intro, body paragraph 1, 2, and 3, and then the conclusion. So that's what I taught my students in India, and I would be preferring the same for all. In a traditional 5 paragraph essay, there is one introductory paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, and one concluding paragraph. Each body paragraph would have a focus on one main point on the argument to support to the thesis statement. So all of these 3 body paragraphs that when you write, they will have a topic statement, and that topic statement has to have a link with the thesis statement of the top, like main topic that is there in that is the task of the question. But when you write the longer essay in your college or in your university, you may need more than 3 body paragraphs to adequately support your argument. In this case, it is important to carefully organize your ideas and make sure that each paragraph focuses on one main point, and too many body paragraphs can make essay what feel disjointed. So that's why I used to suggest my students they must write not at all more than 5 paragraphs in their essay writing when it comes to senior secondary level or the IELTS students. So most of the time, it depends upon the kind of question is asked and whatever is asked in the question. So if you satisfy the question very well, then I think that like there are corners that are task achievement, lexical resource, then cohesion and coherence and cohesion, and then the grammar. You know, that each of them are divided into 25%. So depending upon that, it all matters. You know how you write, what are the different points that you write. You know, I've discussed it multiple times. So ultimately, the number of the paragraphs you write should be determined by the specific requirement of your assignment and amount of the essay and the evidence and analysis needed to support your argument. It depends upon that, you know, how you write it. And how to write the conclusion, you know, let me just see that. Here you see, when you write a conclusion is the most important element of actually your presentation, because introduction and conclusion, if they're not linked together and the summary is not done, then definitely your essay will be fertile. So writing a conclusion is very important one. Okay, and it allows you to summarize your main points and reinforce your thesis statement. And what are those steps? Let's talk about them. So whenever you write the conclusion, I told you that there are some phrases that I told my students also, like I'll tell you, in conclusion, to conclude, you can use any of them phrases and put a comma after that and start writing, restating your thesis statement. The first sentence of your conclusion should restate your thesis statement in different words. Like these helps to remind the reader with the main argument of your essay. So that's what it does. Okay. And then thereafter, you know, when you have to write the summary of the main points in the following sentences, summarize the main points you made in your essay, body paragraphs, essays, body paragraph. This helps to reinforce your argument and remind the readers of the evidence that you presented. So you have to summarize in the different language. Let me tell you, summary of the body paragraph. Let me write beautifully. Summary of BPs in different language in one sentence form. Let me tell you, the sentences must be complex usually, because that can cover up the whole information given in the 3 body paragraphs. So in that case, if you are unable to write, then write them separately. The thoughts must be like what you understood through the body paragraph, what your body paragraph was about, and what conclusion would you make of the given statement that has enhanced the scope of your thesis statement with the help of the body paragraph. So you have to actually tell that. Provide a final thought. That means you are going to provide a suggestion also. You can leave the reader with the information, reflection, general reflection on the topic, so that you can do. And then thereafter your essay will be complete. And that's what I told you, like when you write the 3rd body paragraph, you know, in 3rd body paragraph, do not write any transition statement, because transition statement means that you are writing another paragraph and another paragraph is not going to come in your essay writing, and definitely you're writing a conclusion, and after the conclusion the essay is over. And if you provide the more information in that, that means your conclusion should not be introducing any new information or argument that you have discussed, that were not discussed in the essay before. It should only summarize and reinforce those points which are already mentioned. So most important point about the conclusion is to keep it concise, which actually becomes a very tricky task for all students and the other students as well, because they think that the conclusion can be another body paragraph kind of stuff and we can write whatever information. It's not possible. I told my students when I was teaching in the school, like when you write introduction for 40 to 50 words, the conclusion has to be also 40 to 50 words or 40 to 45 words. But the body paragraphs can go 80 to 90 words, and 80 to 90 words for each of those paragraphs may retain your what we say the word limit, and all these things will be clear easily. Okay, and I hope that you have understood that the kind of structure that I wanted to tell you. To summarize the main points, and in the conclusion, let me tell you that what has to be there. So when you reinstate, you have to start with the like main point of the thesis statement. Restate your thesis statement, conclusion, restate thesis statement. Okay, and then go for summarizing body paragraphs in one or two statements, and then provide a suggestion, or if you don't have the suggestion, just keep it like that. So simply these 3 points are to be kept in mind, and your essay will be done. Now we will discuss about like how the same thing is applied in the essay, which is going to be explained further. Okay, now exercise benefits explained, like that is the topic that we are going to discuss. Just a minute. Now here you see that oh my god, exercise is an important component of healthy lifestyle. What kind of statement is it? What kind of statement is it? You should tell me what kind of statement is it? If there is nobody, and I expect that after I will just put this live session to not live, then what you're gonna do is you are supposed to give the answers for the asked question that I'm asking. You're supposed to like this particular statement. I would be answering right away. That is our hook statement. That is a background information you will be giving the next. Exercise is important component of healthy lifestyle. I told you it will relate to the health. Many people neglect this aspect of their health, but regular exercise has numerous benefits. You see how there is a blend between this is the hook statement, and it continued further with more information, that is background information. Neglect this aspect of the health. However, you can use however also instead of but. However, but you have to put a comma after that. But a regular exercise has numerous benefits, and the essay's main topic, the topic statement, is the benefits of regular exercise. So instead of saying that in this essay I will explore the importance of the exercise over the health, or you can simply say that this essay will discuss about the or something like that. But I don't suggest this particular thing. Simply connect it through the words. Okay, got it. Otherwise, if you want to write this way, that is also not wrong. It's like words can be utilized. In this essay, I will explore the importance of the exercise for overall health. You see, this is what we call transition statement or the bridging statement. It will create a bridge between what we are going to write in the body paragraphs. My essay is going to explore through the like importance of the exercise for overall health, 1 point, including its physical, mental, and emotional benefits. So there are three categories of the benefits which we'll be seeing in I think as far as my mind goes. Physical benefits, 1 paragraph; mental benefit, 1 paragraph; emotional benefit, 1 paragraph. So there will be connection between this declaration and the body paragraph. So you see, so the regular exercise has many, like the most important factor is of the regular exercise that it has many benefits. You can write in any way. Okay. um it can help reduce the risk of the chronic diseases such as heart disease. These are examples. These are examples. You need not to, you see that, such as. So these are the ways you provide examples, such as heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. Okay. Now, exercise also strengthened. Moreover, you can say that, or here you have used also, so simply write like that. Moreover, exercise also strengthens the muscles and the bones, which can improve posture and reduce the risk of injury. So you have again added a little bit more information of the benefit of that same. Okay. Additionally, exercise can improve the cardiovascular health by lowering the blood pressure and improve circulation. What we are seeing here is we are seeing the examples to support the ideas, and we are seeing the another benefits which are physical benefits, only physical benefits that we are talking about. It will stop injury, or it will talk about, like the paragraph is talking about the cardiovascular health, lots of points. So you can simply see that, like, the main focus of this particular paragraph was talking about one point, that is physical benefits. Now, coming to the second paragraph, you need not to write that body paragraph 2 or something. Okay, do not write that one, because the bullet points or starting points are not allowed in essay writing. Most of the students, they do it. I remember that one of the, like, two of the kids that I went to teach in a village, they were writing that one because they learned it in the school. So don't do that. So when you write essay, there is nothing like the bullet points or something like that. Okay. Exercise also has many mental benefits. We are talking about the second point now. It can reduce, you see, the modal verb usage can reduce the stress and anxiety by releasing endorphins, like kind of particular um, glands or something, like we have like, sorry, what we say that, hormones, sorry, releasing hormones, so which are feel good chemicals in the brain. So these are the chemicals which have been released. I've seen lots of videos about the same. I forgot about that. Endorphins. So it'll give you a certain sort of pleasure also, kind of pleasure also. Exercise can also improve cognitive function, mental level function. Cognitive is related to the mind and the memory and the attention span. Furthermore, the exercise can boost self-esteem, confidence by providing the sense of accomplishment and control. So I would suggest you to add something that does like doing the exercise may give many kids or the youngsters a very healthy lifestyle, or something like that can be added into that. So finally, exercise can have the emotional benefits, emotional benefits as well. It can improve the good mood and reduce the symptoms of the depression, anxiety. Earlier we discussed about that. And the emotional benefits we are talking about, the health can also provide the social connectedness, and especially, so there is nothing very difficult as far as the access, like the exercise of what we say as, like, words of English are concerned. I think the words are very simple one. Exercise can improve sleep quality, which is important for overall well-being as well. So the people who are insomniac, or they suffer from the sleeplessness, they will have to be, very careful about it. They will have to be very careful about doing exercise. They should do the exercise and they can keep themselves fit. Okay. Now, when we write conclusion, I told you that no need to write that, just to let you know that that's the conclusion. So that's why I've written over there. Okay. In conclusion, I told you that it has to start with that. There are some points which are not actually being used in this particular essay. I wanted to tell you that how the blending is done. Now, conclusion, I told you that conclusion has to reinstate the introduction's topic statement. Now, exercise is an essential component of the healthy lifestyle. That's the first thing that we talked about. There are many benefits of exercise. It has physical benefits such as reducing the risk of the chronic diseases. Got it? So that is the first thing that you have done. You have reinstated the body paragraph ones in the summarized form, in a different language. And you see that exercise can also have the mental health benefit. That is the summary of the second paragraph, second body paragraph in the cognitive function. Now, sorry, just a minute. Finally, exercise can have emotional benefits such as improving mood and the sense of social connectedness. Incorporating exercise into the daily routine can have numerous benefits. Sorry, up to connectedness. That is a summary of the third body paragraph. And this is what we have given the general, prescription or kind of suggestion that we have given. Incorporating exercise into the daily routine can have the numerous benefits for the overall health and the well-being. This is what I wanted to tell you. Got it? So I hope so that the things are clear. If still those are not clear, you may let me know that. Okay. Yeah. And when there will be day, here will be night, and I'll be sleeping. And I hope so that my students are going to watch this video and will let me know that, you know, how they are benefited from the given. Let me tell you that till the last you have to see it so that you may actually understand what are the benefits of, you know, connectedness, how to logically, link up the whole essay. So that you have to do. I would suggest you that like keep all the tips in the mind. Let me remind you three things that you have to actually keep in mind, which are given in many ways in case of the videos that are available on the YouTube. But I must suggest you that practicing it in a different manner, just divide your preparation, divide it in paragraphs. Do not do all those paragraphs in one go. Firstly, start writing, you know, introduction. Learn how to write introduction. And when you are clear about learning writing introduction, then go for something else. Okay. So divide it into parts. And the first thing that you will do is learning how to write, learn writing introduction. Okay. So you will learn how to write introduction. And then when you are clear about it, write 5 to 10 essays. Okay, 5 to 10 essay with only and only introduction, and try to just show it to your teachers whether there is any connection between the paragraphs or the lines or not. Okay, if your teacher says that no, do it on your own, then you're all welcome to, see that on different websites which are already available, analyzing websites for essay. You can just put your paragraph into that, and then you will be able to know that whether your essay is right or wrong. You'll be able to see that. It's very common one nowadays. And if you're not clear about it, then I'm there. No, I'm not there every time. I must tell you that. If I'll be busy with my work, then I'll be busy. And if I'll be free, then I'll definitely help you out in that thing. Okay. Now, then after you have understood that how to write introduction properly, then go for the body paragraph. Okay. Body paragraph 1, 2, and 3 will have the same process to write it down, but you should know how to introduce your topic of one paragraph. Okay. Learn the art of introducing the topic, and then, you know, that's it. And then comes another thing, that is what I would say, what I should say. Yeah. So how to provide evidence. What should be your evidence for the topic? Then learn that. Okay. Step one is, learn how to write the topic. What are the different statements that can be written as a topic statement, and then evidence, how to provide an evidence. And then thereafter, summarizing the body paragraph with the help of the phrases, firstly thus, consequently, or something like that, like hence or something. As a result, you know as a result of that, like what is the conclusion of the whole paragraph. You would be able to, and try to understand how to write examples, providing example stats, using the 29%, 28% or something like that. Just don't give fake analysis. Okay. So it is easy for any teacher to understand that whether it is a fake one or the right information. Okay. So now then go for the last step, that is conclusion. Okay. You have to write 30 essays. Like there would be 10 essays only, but you have to repeat this task for the 30 essays. It would be 30 essays or 10 essays, I would say. So 10 to 15 essay you can take and write firstly introduction for them, then try to write body paragraphs for them. So then write the conclusion for them so that you may be practicing the whole stuff within those 10 to 15 essays. And once you have written 10 to 15 essays, it will be accomplished, and you will always remember that whenever whenever I have to write an essay, I have to follow the structure, skeleton. And this is it for this particular session. And if there is any question, you're all welcome to ask me in the comment section. And I hope so you will like this video and the live session. And kindly just give some time for understanding things that are very much important in your life. Quit sleeping for some time. It's not like I don't say that you don't sleep for 8 hours, sleep for 8 hours, but sleep only for 8 hours. Don't enjoy your life in the beginning. Enjoy your life after you have achieved it. After you have achieved your goals, then you can sleep, enjoy yourself, have a good and a healthy life, quality life, rather than having any lethargic and the lazy life. Thank you very much.